Hey there, future historians. Today, we're going to travel back in time to explore one of the coolest places in ancient history, Mesopotamia. This place is often called the Cradle of Civilization, and for good reason. Located between the mighty Tigris and Euphrates rivers, Mesopotamia is where some of the very first cities sprang up. Remember these two rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates, because they're super important. We'll talk about them 3 times to make sure they stick. Now, imagine living in a place where cities like Eridu, Kish, Uruk, Lagash, and Ur were bustling with people. And speaking of Ur, it was the biggest city in Mesopotamia. Imagine walking through Ur's streets, seeing a giant tower called a ziggurat, where people went to worship their city's god. This ziggurat wasn't just any building, it was a massive, layered structure with a temple right on top. At the very top of these ziggurats was a sacred temple dedicated to the city's patron god. People believed that their gods lived in these temples high above the cities, watching over them. Now, let's talk about the people of Mesopotamia. The king was a mighty figure, almost like a superhero, who was not only the ruler, but also the high priest. He performed important religious ceremonies to please the gods. Below the king were the priests, officials, and scribes. Yes, those who could write. Writing was a big deal because not everybody knew how to do it. They used a script called Cuneiform, which means wedge-shaped. It was one of the first writing systems in the world, and it helped people keep records of all sorts of things like trade, laws, and even stories. Speaking of stories, have you ever heard of the Epic of Gilgamesh? It's one of the oldest known stories in the world, and guess what? It comes from Mesopotamia. This epic tale tells the adventures of a king named Gilgamesh and his wild friend Enkidu. It's packed with monsters, gods, and epic quests. The people of Mesopotamia were also amazing farmers, thanks to the fertile land near the rivers. Remember, the Tigris and Euphrates. They grew crops like wheat, barley, and dates, and they were some of the first to use irrigation to water their crops. This helped them grow more food and support big cities. But it wasn't all farming. They were also fantastic builders and traders. The Mesopotamians traded goods with far-off places, and they were known for their beautiful crafts, like jewelry and sculptures. They even had laws written down by a king named Hammurabi, which helped everyone know the rules and live together peacefully. Now, imagine a world where the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, existed. These gardens were said to be built by King Nebuchadnezzar for his wife because she missed the green hills of her homeland. They were like a mountain made of gardens, with plants and trees hanging from terraces, and all of this in the middle of the desert. But all good things come to an end, and so did the Mesopotamian civilization. Despite its decline, the legacy of Mesopotamia lives on through its contributions to architecture, writing, law, and more. They taught us the value of writing to share knowledge, of laws to keep order, and of gods to explain the mysteries of life. So, the next time you write something down, remember the ancient scribes of Mesopotamia. And think about this. Just like the rivers that nourished the land, knowledge flowed from Mesopotamia to us, helping us grow and learn about the past to build our future. And before we finish, remember those 2 rivers one last time. The Tigris and Euphrates. These rivers helped make Mesopotamia the birthplace of civilization, and they're a big reason why we remember this amazing place today. So next time you sip on a glass of water, think about how important water was for creating the first civilizations and helping them thrive. Keep exploring, and who knows, maybe you'll dig up some more history yourself one day.